LinkedIn is very heavy into like these search engines.
Yeah.
So if you were to look yourself up right now, within the first 3 things that come up will probably be something LinkedIn related.
Okay.
Your LinkedIn profile, a post. They're very heavy into SEO. So having a LinkedIn presence, when somebody looks you up, you're going to come up at the top. And if there's, people like, there's several Wendy Shores I found. So I come up now that I've been very active on LinkedIn. I come up higher in the search than I did before I got on LinkedIn.
Okay. Hello and welcome to Pathways Unleashed, a special edition of Pathways with Amber Stitt. The Pathways Unleashed podcast were recorded with special guests and the authors of The Unleashed Entrepreneur and The Biohacking Entrepreneur, who were celebrating the book launches at the Unleash Your Superpower Conference in Delray Beach, Florida in April 2025. Let's join the conversation. Wendy Shore, bestselling author, LinkedIn strategist, which is like really, I think, important. If you don't mind me talking about your work today, is that going to be okay?
Of course.
Always. I figured you'd be fine with it. All right. So Wendy is not an amateur to the public screen. She's on Lattes and Caffeinated Conversations.
Yes, with Melissa Cohen.
Melissa is your co-host, so I got to meet her. She's awesome. We have the books. Obviously, we're showcasing these. We've been in best-selling books together. We're celebrating that. We're celebrating some other things you have going on too. But I wanted to talk about collaboration because you guys were talking about that this week. And it's just interesting how my dream of doing this with all the authors that I've met is coming to fruition, and how important collaboration, whether it's writing a book, seeking out a community, you guys have been talking about that. So I want to talk about LinkedIn in just a little bit because I think people are not thinking of it the right way, or they've had some bias towards it in business. And I want to kind of demystify that with you. But first, let's talk about what you have found in business, because as a serial entrepreneur, you've had different partnerships over the years. You talk about that in your books.
Yes.
Why is collaboration and your network, even online, so important?
Well, I think today a lot of the relationships start online. So for example, I met Melissa Cohen on LinkedIn, and then we connected in the DMs, first in the comments, then DMs.
Okay, so you were literally engaging on purpose, not just someone doing it for you. You guys were hanging out, chatting and noticing each other.
You know, I have to tell you, when it comes to LinkedIn, LinkedIn's a little bit different. It's a little bit unique. And it's really a community building platform. Other social medias are great for exposure, but I have not seen, I've been very active on Facebook and even in Facebook groups. Yeah. I've been active on Instagram. I've never seen where a platform has resulted in real friendships and collaborations. People actively seek to help out each other. Mm-hmm. And that's,
you get to choose.
That's one of the things that makes it unique.
Yeah.
Right. And I think people still look at LinkedIn as post your resume and that's where your resume goes to die. Right. Yeah. And it's not. It's changed. It's a real social media platform with real people who are mostly business people.
There was a period of time, maybe it was because, what is it, like 4 or 5 years ago, when a lot of the sales tools were built and then everyone was inboxing each other a bunch of spam and everyone got maxed out. I think that's where this all started, where it just felt like, I don't trust you because you're inboxing me. And there's still some of that, but you can find quality. And that's kind of where I want to head with you. Like, you are helping people do that. And I know that's what you do for work, but you are literally doing the work. I know Patricia is, and there's some of the others in our community that are actively on LinkedIn. Yes. Mad respect for it. You can find strategic partnerships and not even be in the same city.
Oh, 100%. So first of all, let's talk about the pitch slap for a moment.
I want to know what that is. Tell us.
I send you a connection request. Okay. You accept. And I immediately respond with, I have a product that can change your life. Right. And sometimes these are AI driven. Sometimes they're people, but most of the time they do not even take the time to read your bio. They just send you a connection request and then they trying to sell you your own product or service.
With what? Or they'll say
financial planning, insurance for healthcare. Like,
my tagline could use some work, but like, I've already told you what I'm doing. Yeah. So this right. Okay. So it's random.
But it's the pitch slap. You accept the connection request, and it's usually a nice, I read this post that you did, or I saw a comment that you left on somebody's, and then it's immediately a pitch. Don't do that. Nobody likes that. Nobody wants to get pitch slapped.
And read through it.
Right. And the thing is you could actually be reaching out to somebody who is your ideal client, but you want to build the relationship first. And they may not even be ready for your product or service, But if you build a relationship, you may find that somebody that they know is. And so then there's the referral part of the networking, and community building.
Yeah.
Right. And that is where collaborations are best.
Okay. So it's a safe place, you all. And I know a lot of you are on LinkedIn watching anyway, but I feel that sometimes even people that are maybe in corporate America that are not B2B or entrepreneurs, they might go, I don't need it. But why does everyone need to have a profile and a presence on it?
Well, LinkedIn is very heavy into like the search engines.
Yeah.
So if you were to look yourself up right now, within the first 3 things that come up will probably be something LinkedIn related.
Okay.
Your LinkedIn profile, a post. They're very heavy into SEO. So having a LinkedIn presence, when somebody looks you up, you're going to come up at the top. And if there's, people like, there's several Wendy Shores I found. So I come up now that I've been very active on LinkedIn. I come up higher in the search than I did before I got on LinkedIn.
Okay. So it's giving you kind of like how Google, they'll reward you if you're actively on the platform and engaging and helping other people.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. And I've had some people transition and they're going to still stay corporate, but you can also use it reverse too. You can go out and search and connect with people that you might in the future want to do business with, learn from, find a community of friends or
absolutely.
There's really no excuses to find the resources.
And especially when it comes to, solopreneurship, right? People are building solopreneur businesses intentionally, right? It used to be seen as this fallback, or you're just starting out. But people are saying, you know what? I like staying small. With today's AI tools, it's easy to get stuff done. And so they're intentionally building solopreneur businesses that are reaching 6-7 figures. And they're saying that we're going to hit 8-figure solopreneurs in our lifetime.
Okay. So I wasn't thinking about taking this avenue with you, because there's a lot of business that's saying, don't be solo, delegate. And that's kind of what I talked about in my chapter, scaling your business. But this, I think, is the consultancy world.
Right.
And a lot of people have the main thing and then that thing that can eventually be a really great transition tool. A lot of our guests talked about finding their new kind of pivot. If you have the consultancy out there, you can pivot whenever you want and make it a full-time thing. And you've delegated through different businesses too and restaurants completely different than what we're talking about, but
business is business.
Business is business and your network.
Right. So first with the delegation, as a solopreneur business owner, yes, you wear very many hats and you should know how to do most things, but it doesn't mean that you're doing everything.
Yeah.
That's where hiring a VA comes in, right? So you're not really working in a silo.
Yeah.
Right. And we say business growth doesn't happen in a silo.
Yeah.
Or as Melissa says, success is not pie.
Well, do you want to share what that means? Because I liked learning about that the other day.
So success is not a pie. That's exactly what it means. You don't get a slice of pie. It's not the name of a pie.
Yeah. Pat on the back. There you go.
And I don't even know where that originated. Did you look up the origin of that?
I think she was talking about it. So we'll have to get back with her on that.
Yes. But I always said success doesn't happen in a silo. You don't grow alone. Even in a solopreneur business, you don't grow alone. And that's where collaboration and community comes in really strongly important, because it can be very lonely, right? And especially if you're in a home office, which a lot of us tend to be, whether it's a room, a basement, or we're in our home offices. So we leave our main part of the house, we go into our office and we work.
Yep.
Right?
Very efficiently. Yay us, but
you're alone.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, your family may be in the other room, but you're shutting the door and you're doing the work alone. And it's different than when you're in corporate and you gather around the water cooler and you catch up with people. Or, for me in my restaurant, my work was social.
Yeah. Okay. So that's interesting, because I don't know that you can turn that off of that side of you, that enjoyment from having the different locations, seeing people's faces and seeing that they're enjoying what you're providing. So that is an interesting point, but you've been able to innovate off that and do the things you're doing now. But that's where that network can still be helpful in bite-sized doses, or you can go in and have as much engagement as you want. This episode of Pathways has been brought to you by Owl. Owl gives you access to new networks and valuable contacts, otherwise unreachable without a referral. Get in touch instantly in real time on a private one-on-one audio call. Search through vetted professionals to connect with the people you are looking for. Download the Owl app today and expand your reach.
Recently, I did an event in New York City, and we are doing it again. Just if anybody wants to come to our event in New York City, we're doing a LinkedIn local meetup.
Okay.
And we have a panel, and we're now having the same people on the panel.
Live.
It's going to be live.
Streaming live.
It's going to be streaming live and it's going to be live. So if you want to meet us IRL, it's going to be at the Tempo Hilton in New York City.
Okay, I saw that
on
online.
May 19th.
Okay.
And if you can't make it, yes, we are going to stream the panel. And then afterwards, we're going to break out into mastermind sessions.
Fun.
But our MC, Donnie Boivin, who and I may have pronounced your name wrong, Donnie, I'm sorry.
Yay, Donnie.
Bovine.
Shout out.
I think it's Donnie Bovine.
Okay.
He's really big on talking about networking.
Okay.
Right. And he's saying, like, when you go to a networking event, you don't necessarily go to get your clients from networking events. You go to meet people who may then introduce you to your clients, because there's a different barrier, right? If I'm meeting with you and I'm not trying to sell you something, but I know that you know people who
Safe
could be my
place.
ideal client, we can have better conversations and figure out how we can help each other and refer each other.
Yeah.
Right.
You're choosing to be there. Like, I know BNI's, no knocking on BNI, but it's mandatory. You have these certain things you have to do, where this is like a fluidity of a natural, you're choosing to be there, spending your time, looking forward to going to the city.
Right.
It's a different vibe.
Right. He has a group that meets every week online too, multiple groups.
Okay.
And it's basically who can I refer you to this week? What are you looking for? Right. So are you looking to meet people in the healthcare industry? Are you looking to meet people like healthcare industry adjacent? Right. And what does that look like? And then everybody helps each other try and figure out who we can introduce each other to.
And you have a chance to kind of vet out the person you're speaking with too, or you can watch them online and see how you're feeling about what are they posting about? Are they consistent? Do you like their truth behind what they're messaging? Is it all AI? It might be a little bit, but.
And that's why it's really important to get to know somebody, because when you refer somebody, it's your reputation. And another thing to keep in mind, which is interesting, there's a difference between a referral and an introduction. I can introduce you to somebody, or I can refer you to somebody. Referring comes with a stronger promise, where introductions are just, oh, I know somebody, let me introduce you.
Right.
And then what happens?
You're not going to hang your hat on that one. You're
exactly.
Like, no, the referral's different. That's our rep. Behind the referral.
100%. And Patricia today did a really great post about your reputation. Like, your reputation's everything. So whatever you do in business, you really need to do it with integrity. And sometimes that means longer growth patterns. It means periods of no growth. Yeah. Right? As you're figuring out the next thing. Yeah. But when you go for the cash grab or the money grab and too trendy, it's not real. It's not real. And you lose your reputation, right? Because you really can't deliver what you're promising. You're following the herd and doing that overnight success promise, or looking for overnight success yourself. Yeah.
What do you think about the younger kids that are seeing the trendy 1%ers? Like, we forget there's 1%ers of like success. It's not everyone making millions of dollars, but I think they think that's real for everybody. And you can Google who makes $1 million a year. It's not many people. Right. But it seems like there is. Having a community on LinkedIn could be so important, because that could virtually, you don't have to be in the same city, because you can watch, you can communicate, and it's a kind of a safe place to play. But I think it's important that and this is where I wanted to kind of bring in with you, is what you do. You have to be doing these things. You have to be using an app like Owl or something to build these business relationships, because the trendy stuff is not real for most.
And that's the whole thing. When you're on Owl, and if you're on a call with somebody, if somebody calls you, you call somebody, you have to know what you're talking about. Right. It's one thing to write a post. Yeah. But it's another thing to actually speak to somebody and either get or give advice. And when you're giving advice, this is in my chapter, how I found my voice and how I started speaking up.
And this one in Impact?
Yep.
Okay.
Was Clubhouse.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's how I met Patricia too.
Yes. That's how I met Patricia also. And actually even Wendy, even though we live in the same town. But what happened when I first got on Clubhouse, I was quiet.
I would never speak. I was too scared.
Yes.
And I'm chatty.
Right? And
pretty chatty over here.
Hello. Do I look like I'm shy? And that's it. I was quiet. I was afraid to speak up. And there was all these people, and some people who I saw on social media who I was like, wow, I can't believe I'm in the room with them. Yeah. And then I would listen to the advice that they were giving. And I was like, that's really bad advice. Like, no, like, what are you saying? Right.
And everyone can be in the room. It's free for all, as long as you're respectful.
Yes. And you can get up on stage. And people were just sharing really bad business advice, from what I've seen and from my experience. And so I started speaking up. because I wanted to put people on the right path.
Yeah.
Right now, I never called anybody out and said, oh, no, you're wrong. But I did put my thoughts, and that's where I started speaking up and helping people. And that's where I sort of turned more towards helping entrepreneurs than helping small businesses.
Oh, wow.
That was like sort of the pivot. It didn't even hit me then. But now that I'm doing it now, I realize that's when, right? Like you could always connect the dots looking backwards. And I realized that that's when I was enjoying helping people and I was enjoying taking my experience. And this was the biggest for me in writing this chapter. And by the way, this is going to be my TEDx talk.
When is that happening?
I don't know. I'm applying soon.
Oh. No? So this is in the, this is my,
it's
been submitted.
Thought. So anybody who's listening, you don't need a hero's journey to make a difference in somebody's life.
I love that you talked about that in the book because I wrote about something that happened in my way back, but I don't really live in that history. It was a time that happened with my family. So I wrote about it in my books because I thought I had to. And it makes it relatable, like my why.
Absolutely.
I needed to.
Yes.
But I love that you say that because everything matters. It doesn't have to come from a place of just awful trauma to be
impactful.
Yes.
And what seems like ordinary to you could really be extraordinary to somebody else because they haven't lived it yet.
Yep.
And they haven't gone through it.
Yep. So that was, I'm glad you brought that up because I don't think I wrote that down in my notes, but I was like, you said it. And that's where it's like just having some grace with yourself and do the work that you want to do.
And find your voice to help people, because if you help one person, you don't know who that one person's going to help, who that one person's going to help. And even if everybody,
it's cool.
You just have this ripple effect.
Yeah.
Right. And so find your voice and share it. And you don't have to have that dramatic or traumatic event.
Well, you can also borrow from other people's experience, years and years. We have books for that. We have interviews, but that's where this community, you can go and filter and search. So let's talk about how you help people on LinkedIn, because I don't want to forget what's in this juicy, like I always like, what is that? I want to have one of those. How are you helping people online?
This is yours.
Oh, well, I got a gift. Yes. Was it you that said something about no, it was Gen X, and we're kind of like no excuses generation.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I really feel like right now, there's really no excuses. Like you could be the quietest, most introverted person in the world, and you can still engage and talk on LinkedIn and comment.
Yes.
Celebrate the people you think are really making a difference.
Absolutely.
And that's where those friendships can start. And I think that's where like people that might have given up at some point with the pitch.
Right. Pitch
slapping. Get back in the game and get your profile picture up and like, let me see who you are. Like if I were to hire someone, they don't have a LinkedIn, I'm like, you're not even innovating and you're 20 in your, whatever age you are. I do pay attention to that because we are a virtual business.
Right. And I was just going to say that a lot of people work from home, right? So if you want to work from home, people want to know who you are.
Right.
And so you have to put yourself out there, right? Profile, engaging in comments. And here's the thing. If you're just starting out, you may not have a lot of experience. Okay. But learn something right about it. Read something right about it. When something strikes you, why? And write about it. Because that's going to set the tone for you, your personality. And people understand that you're new, you're young, you're just starting out. So go out there, right?
Yeah. It's kind of like, I think Alex Hormozy talks about this and some others. Don't tell people about stuff you don't know how to do. Just show people what's working for you in your story and be vulnerable if you want, but like don't tell, show through what you've been doing. And it could be an evolution of things. And I mean, your journey's been like that too.
Yes. Oh, a complete.
Do you ever miss the restaurant business?
I do sometimes. I do.
A lot easier to not be in the restaurant business?
It's a lot easier. It was literally, and I have multiple restaurants. So could I step away and have managers run it?
It's not 9 to 5,
but it's not who I am. Right.
Yeah.
And why am I working on Friday, Saturday? Well, because those are my busy nights.
Yeah.
And that's when I get to interact the most with my customers. Right. I've been asked to go back in it. And sometimes I'll be driving by a shopping center or a place and I'll be like, oh, that would be a great place for then I like slap myself. What are you thinking? I have a life now. Right. Like, the restaurant was my life. And I'll be honest, when I left the restaurant business, it was a struggle for a while because being a restaurateur was also my identity.
Yeah.
Right. And so I was lost.
Yeah. Oh, I
was lost.
From serving and bartending in different phases of my life. There's this energy, this buzz, and then there's like the busy. And then you get over it and you conquer your like busy hour to 2 hours, whatever it is. And then you're like, but it's exhausting. And then you're up late. And so I'm sure to transition from that world of like, I mean, it's chaos in a good way because you obviously organize from the kitchen to the presentation to people, even how many tables, all of it's organized. But there's that moment of like multitasking.
Oh,
going crazy. And then you're
chaos.
like making the drinks, going fast. How many times can I work through that room and make every minute count? It's kind of fun, but I'm sure that was hard to detox out of that rush. We'll call it not chaos.
Oh no, but it is chaos. There's a rush. And when things are going like just sometimes your timing is just spot on. And sometimes it's everything is up in the air at once. And you have to like in a moment
Not
kind
cry.
of look and go and don't cry. Don't cry but you have to like figure out with all these balls, which ones are glass
Yeah.
and which ones are plastic.
Yeah.
Because the glass ones you can't let drop. They're going to break. So you can let the plastic ones kind of fall a little bit and you'll go back and pick them up later. And that really helps the decision making. Like anybody who's worked in the restaurant business, and listen, retail is tough and working with customers anywhere, but there's so much going on. And when people are hungry, they can be very cranky.
I'm kind of hungry right now. It's after 2, right?
Well, thank goodness you're not cranky.
Yeah, I'm not hangry yet. No, but I mean, and then they're checking the time. You said it would be 30 minutes, like all of that from front to back.
And when you're hungry, right? Like 3 minutes seems like 12, right? And 10 minutes seems like it's half hour. Yeah. And so people will literally go and, I've been waiting half hour. And then you turn, you look and you're like, ma'am, it's only been 8 minutes. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Go find a friend, go hang out and have some fun. You're listening to Pathways with Amber Stitt. For more episodes like this, plus so much more, check out the podcast page at amberstitt.com. Let's take action together. Now let's get back to our episode. Okay, so let's get into this quarterly ledger.
So this is what I had worked through with my clients and for myself. And it wasn't organized. So I put it together organized. So it's a planner in progress report. Okay. And then so here, it kind of tells you in the front page how to use it.
Okay.
And then we go through and we have our
I love it.
Big picture planning.
There's something to be said about having it in your hands. I know digital, it's kind of like a combo, but literally touching the paper.
I'm old school. I like the paper.
Yep.
And then we set up our quarterly, our monthly.
Okay.
Goals.
So you're doing accountability calls then?
So, well, yes, you go back and you look.
Okay.
Oh, and then I have where you can make and block time. This originally started as a social media content calendar, but it can be social media or it could just be things you have to get done and when you're going to block it out, which includes family time, because sometimes if you don't block out time for yourself.
Okay. So you got 30 minutes, which is kind of like that Pomodoro if you hear about that, blocking out 20, 30 minutes, that's what you can time block. Something's running over that. Maybe that's a special note that needs to be addressed.
That needs to be addressed. And why is it running? And then we go into our weekly review. What stuff?
Virtual coffees is on the agenda.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You have to connect with people. Okay. How many? And so wait, this is not in here, but I'm going to add it in the next version. I have a friend who I adore. Her name is Chelly.
Okay.
And she talks about sending out ships, right? So back in the old days, right? When they would send the ships out to go across and pick up the spices and the goods, right? If you sent out one ship, maybe one would come back or maybe pirates would get it or maybe it would, so you would have to send out multiple ships.
Oh, because you just never knew.
The more ships you send out, the more chance you have of having the goodies come back into port. So if you're doing nothing, if you're not reaching out to people, if you're not following up, you can't expect the ships to come in.
Yeah.
If you're not sending them out. So I may have something on here like how many ships did you send out this week, right?
Oh, yeah, because there's a certain percentage of conversion, not to get analytical, but if you don't have a volume of ships going out, how are you going to expect?
Right. You can't
How
just
many emails did you send? Yes.
Right? Yeah. How many people have called you? How many did you call? None? Yeah. Okay, well.
Okay, there you go.
And then I start each week with a quote. So this one is start where you are, use what you have, do what you can by Arthur Ashe. Just pick another one. Oh, this is one of my favorite quotes, Sophia Bush. You are allowed to be both a masterpiece and a work in progress simultaneously.
Cool. Yeah.
Right. And then in the end, it's just getting the quarter done and then you review the quarter.
Okay. Okay. So quarterly ledger. So this is where, and then you could probably go back and reevaluate for the year. You kind of keep your stack together.
And sometimes what happens is when you're doing this, you realize what you set out to do, you no longer want to do, right? You look at the goals and you're like, I thought I wanted to do that, but it's not lighting my soul on fire or it's not working. And that's important
because if you don't write it down, then you probably could have a shiny ball show up and go, nope, remember that didn't work out. Like you can have some track record of that evidence of that.
And so I've been working on this program that I want to launch, right? It's ready to go. It's called Solo 90, Solopreneur 90. It's 90 days to a profitable solopreneur business. And it's been a little bit on hold.
Okay.
Because what happens? Things happen, life happens, and you can't let it deter you. But my mom wound up, she broke her femur bone. Last year, I just want to tell you, my mom was in the hospital most of January, February, March, all the way through May. They had a heart condition and she was on her way to recovery. And then she broke her femur bone in February. And she has been between the hospital and rehab, 5 blood transfusions.
East Coast?
Blah, blah. East Coast here. She's here.
Okay.
Which means I'm running several times a week to see her, which is, thank God I have my parents, and she's doing fabulous. And she's actually at the point where she's getting to stand up out of the wheelchair, but it's been a long road.
Sure.
Right. And so between my clients, between Ready Brush, I work at Ready Brush as a CFO 2 days a week.
Oh, sweet.
Toothbrushes. These are pre-pasted toothbrushes, great for traveling. So
oh my gosh.
I bought you a lot of presents.
You did. I think you're the only one. Like, we need to talk about this. No. Kate brought me a coffee. Sorry,
it's the
Kate.
restaurant business. It's what I am. Hospitality.
No, this is so
right?
cool.
My parents taught me well.
Well, my electric toothbrush, I charged it and it's not charged. So I need, I have a different brush. Don't worry. I brushed my teeth today, but I would like to try one of these.
Oh, they're awesome. So they're pre-pasted, but they're quality. So you can use them over and over again.
Oh.
Yeah. If you wanted to. Yep.
Cool. Okay. So let's get back to this. What you were just saying though, life happens. And so that's where you're just spending time to take care. But I think, let's say your mom goes in the hospital and you're using a workbook to then track. And we talk about resilience a lot on Pathways. You got to have a plan. You have to practice for risk management. We won't talk about, insurance right now. If you do things like this, when things pop up, you're more ready and the fire is happening, but you've done the fire drill. That's why some of these steps are very important.
And when you look, there's a section where it says, what stopped me from meeting my goals?
Okay.
Right. And sometimes it's just distraction. You get distracted.
Yeah.
The shiny penny and there's all these things going on. And then you're realizing, okay, something's holding me back, but it's nothing real that's holding me back. But other times there's real things that hold you back. Life gets in the way. Best laid plans.
Accountability.
Right. So, and it's okay to pause.
Yeah.
But don't stop.
Yeah.
And so now I've pushed this out. My plan now is July.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And, I know people say July is not a good time, but that's okay. I want to start this small anyway.
Solopreneurs, they're doing it. They don't have a season.
We don't have a season. But you know what? Some solopreneurs have, have young children and then their children are off for the summer. So maybe they're working a little bit less, or maybe they're not really equipped to take a course.
But it's not before the holidays for sure. So this is a good time to have them start reflecting on what they want for that next year.
Oh, and then I can help them plan for their holiday, So for me, July is a great time.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to starting in July.
Okay. So you're going to be showcasing that on LinkedIn.
Showcasing it.
Obviously LinkedIn followers, you're already here. How else can people find you?
So they can connect
my
website
and beyond. Yeah.
Yes. wendyshore.co.
Okay.
CO, keep the M, keep your money. No, just kidding. Make more money. I don't know. wendyshore.com was not available. So it was Wendy Shore.
Oh, I know. Because you said there's a few Wendy Shores.
Yes.
We're going to put everything in the show notes too. So we'll be able to connect people with how they can get this too. Correct?
Yes. Yep. Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Okay. I'm excited for this next journey and I can't wait for people to learn more about that. Solopreneur, Solo 90.
Solo 90.
Okay. Putting it out there. It's got to happen now.
Yep. Okay. No choice.
Thanks for being here.
Oh my God. Thank you for having me. This was such an enjoyable conversation.
And more to come. We got more to do. Maybe I'll be in New York virtually. We'll see.
Great.
Yeah.
Or just fly in.
I know.
I know. The city. It's a great city.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us for this special edition of Pathways Unleashed, recorded at OWL headquarters here in Delray Beach, Florida. Join us for more powerful conversations with real people who dare to design life on their own terms. Until next time, keep taking action on your unique path.